Did you ever feel like you're a generous person who loves to help people but expects nothing in return? Well, hate to break it to you, that's probably not the case. Let me explain. There is a big biological factor in play which is actually making you act that way. And no, it's not your parents. Because, your parents beat your ass and force you to act good and things like that. Don't worry, I won't tell. The biological factor I'm talking about is reciprocal altruism. Altruism, by definition, is helping others at the cost to yourself, which would sound impossible for current humans to do. But it's not about something you want. Rather, it's your body forcing you to help others. So yeah, you don't have a choice. Mother Nature is actually smart, making you pre-built with these survival mechanisms ensuring the survival of the species. But how does it help you survive? Why would dying for a random stranger help you in any way? It doesn't make any sense. So logically, Mother Nature is dumb, and it wants to kill you for no reason. Nope. Hold your horses, I mean thoughts. We are the dumb ones, you see. Altruism should have disappeared a long time ago, but it still exists. In fact, it's everywhere. Inside a dog, a cat, or even a mean dog. So, it must have a reasonable reason to exist. Altruism sounds like a complex word to define, but actually it is quite simple. I scratch your back, so you can scratch mine. But it's not guaranteed that the other party will scratch my hairy back. They might not be into this type of thing. Well, neither am I still. If there's even a thin possibility that they might. So we hang on to that string of hope and do the deed. For example, let's look at a pack of wolves. A pack often brings food to the member, who didn't even participate in the hunt, which seems cute or caring to humans. But they do it because of a much logical reason. According to the selfish gene theory proposed by Richard Dawkins, animals act to help their relatives survive, so that their genes can pass on and the next generation survives on the cost of one, aka kin selection. A gene is successful if it can maximize the number of copies of itself in the next generation. If all of this is true, then a question naturally arises. Is no one selfless or altruistic? Actually, no. There are selfless people, hopefully, in this economy. If we stood a self-proclaimed selfless person in front of a polygraph, you might think the polygraph will bust him, right? But it won't, because it is a lie detector and it detects lies only. Then it definitely should bust the person because, as I said, nobody can truly be selfless. Well, a polygraph isn't a magic item, which can just tell if you're lying or not. It's built on a system. It detects lies based on your heart rate, blood pressure, or physiological changes triggered by stress, deception, or act of lying itself. And here's the interesting part. Altruism is something built deep inside. We unconsciously perform the act of altruism. So, our conscious part of the brain has no idea that it's being selfish. Rather, it will think its actions are not selfish, which in turn makes the whole body believe it. This shows how we humans can do whatever we believe in. Like, you could be delusional that you're a good person and still get away with human trafficking. Seriously? Don't do that. In the real world, most people help with an intent of receiving something in return, which is totally different from altruism, because then it is a choice rather than being forced to do it. Respectfully.